But if you have an explanation as to why you would be on video accessing stolen money, then I will hear that information.
They stole credit card numbers to get bigger orders, and then therefore they got a bigger chunk of commission.
I just know for me that it's turned into a whole nightmare with like this payment processor and everything.
So, and that's why she's here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I
This
mean,
report is not, it's either that or, it'd be going to trial, and just let a jury decide.
Because at the end of the day, there's still $45,000 that was stolen and you received it. So
Connecticut police respond to a financial fraud report after a woman claims tens of thousands of dollars have vanished from her business account. She says the loss happened after a phone call from someone posing as her bank's fraud department. By the time she realized the call was a scam, the money was gone. As investigators follow the wire transfer, they discover the funds were sent to another woman's bank account and withdrawn in person. As detectives continued digging, it became clear the transaction was only one piece of a much larger operation. On September 29, 2023, officers are dispatched after the victim reports that more than $45,000 has been stolen from her account.
So, I basically got hacked yesterday, and these people went through my online banking, transfer money between the accounts first. My business account is like negative $16,000 now. So they made a wire transfer of $45,000. Which is already gone to Bank of America. And when I was on the phone with these people, they also make me enter,
on the phone
a
with what
number
people?
on the phone. And I think they are
On the phone with what people?
the hackers.
So how did you get on the phone with them?
They called me because they sent me a text message saying that somebody was trying to make a payment in Orlando from 1,300 and change, and if I'd done a transfer of 9,000, almost 10,000, right? So I said no. So they called me and he said, "This is Chase from the fraud department." So me stupid, because I'm doing a million things at the same time, I'm talking to him and he held me like for 2 hours, and I'm getting the sign in a way that I'm like, why is this taking so long? And he said to me, because the fraud, it happened in your online account.
Do you have a Chase account?
Yeah, so I'm freaking out, right? So I didn't catch then. And then at the end of the conversation, he blocked my account. Like I could not get in my app on my phone. I could not go in my computer. And the way that I got that is because the identity theft sent me an email. And that's when I'm like, shoot, I got hacked. But when I was on the phone, he told me to enter a number, right? And I think he forwarded my phone to his phone. So I'm like, I don't know if this phone is being,
He told you to enter a number regarding what?
just to enter a number. Like a lot of bank tells you to enter a number.
Right.
Right? So he told me, you're gonna go and you're gonna enter this number. I did, right? I'm thinking like somebody's taking money from my account. I am at the soccer game, so I'm like focusing in two things. So when I go home and I see my computer telling me that somebody was using my name, right? So I asked my husband, I'm like, look, your account on your phone. And he's like, holy moly, there's no money there. So yeah, that's where I am.
Okay, have you called your bank?
I was in my bank.
Okay.
Like I've been calling my bank since yesterday, 4 o'clock.
Okay, and what have they said?
They restrict all my account.
Okay.
Once I realized that I got hacked, they froze all the account.
Right.
But my concern is like, is these guys now, I don't know, the number that I entered, and I think that they forward whatever I have on my phone to his phone.
Okay, so did you do a factory reset of your phone?
I'm gonna do that next.
Okay.
I just wanted to report here because I might need that in order to get the recall from my $45,000.
Right, so what did the bank say? They're gonna...
So the fraud department, they said because he had every single information. So when he was online, right, he was trying to get into my account, and what happens is a new device, right? So the bank, they call on that. So basically they send a number, which he put it in a computer, and then usually the second step for, to get the information, just make sure it's you. It's like, did you live on this address, this address, this address? So this guy is asking me all of this that he's seeing on the computer, right? And I'm thinking I'm talking to the bank. So I'm giving him the information where I lived, what car I had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was able then to get into my online banking account.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So what did the bank say?
So the bank said that because he had all the information, so it basically they're saying that it's my fault, right? And the wire transfer is already being done, and they are gonna do a claim to recall the bank and see if they're gonna return that money, because that's a fraud.
Right.
That is like a fraud. It doesn't matter what it is, but Chase is saying that I might lose my money because this guy had all the authorization codes.
Because you
right?
gave it to him.
Because I gave it to him. But that's also fraud. I didn't give it to him because I want to give it to him. He's like talking just like anybody from a bank talks.
So Chase is going through the process of getting you your money back.
Yeah, they opened a claim because they did not accept my claim. So they did a recall with Bank of America to see if they're gonna give my money back, because the money has already been transferred to this people's account.
From speaking with the victim, officers determined the caller had convinced her to provide security codes and verification answers under the pretense of preventing fraud. By the time the victim realized what had happened, the account had already been emptied and the trail was growing colder.
Okay. This ratings by Marketing Bloomfield Hills does not exist.
So how in the hell they can transfer money to?
Because they transferred it to an account. I could put anybody's name on my account.
Really? Because when I opened, that's what I was asking Chase too. I don't know Bank of America. I never had money there. But when you open an account, like if that looks like a business name, right?
Right.
When I open my business account, my LLC, I have to show documentation. Like,
Right,
not
but
one
they
or
may not
two.
have opened a business account, maybe a personal account. That,
And they just change the name. And the money goes in an account that doesn't match the name.
right.
And the bank doesn't stop that.
And the account could have been opened in New York, but it could be drawn on anywhere.
Exactly.
That's the world we live in today with technology.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got hacked, and they are really good.
So, all right.
So what's gonna happen from you? Like, do I have like a report from you?
I can give you a case number.
Yes.
But basically, all it's going to say is that you came in and you gave us this information. Our detective bureau may be able to get somewhere with this account number, but I don't know.
Right.
With the funds routed through a shell entity and sent out of state, officers forwarded the case to detectives with little hope of ever recovering the stolen funds. And for 6 months, the investigation stalled. But everything changed when surveillance footage confirmed in-person withdrawals from the linked account by a woman inside the branch. And on March 29th, 2024, detectives made contact with the woman to see what she has to say.
I just was kind of confused when you initially called.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I'm conducting an investigation into a wire fraud case. I did some search warrants. I've been doing investigation on that. And as part of what I have done, I got information on where the money, the stolen money went. And it went into a bank account in your name. And you're on video accessing the bank account.
Okay. And
Okay.
do you know, is there, do you have any information on like the date or any of like the transaction numbers or anything? Because I can explain what I think is going on.
And
but
I mean, if it was me, right? If I would recall when I went into a bank and did a big withdrawal out of an account, like I would remember. So I can't give you dates and times and that sort of thing. But if you have an explanation as to why you would be on video accessing stolen money, then I will hear that information. But I can't give you all the dates and times that are part of the investigation.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can give you some background. So, I basically started a business that was called Ratings by Marketing, and it's an e-commerce reseller program that white labels supplements, and then I have very, very, very little involvement in all of this, which is why I was asking those questions. But basically, like, this company handles like 95% of the operations. Like, they built the website, they handle the white labeling itself, customer service, and then specifically they handle advertising and generating traffic to the website. And everything was
what company? The Ratings by Marketing is a company that you own, and then you have a company that you pay to service your own company, or the company you're talking about is Ratings by Marketing.
So the company that that's under me is Ratings by Marketing, but then I work with like a management person runs the day-to-day operations and everything.
And is there another company that person is under?
His name is Kevin. Like, he's a friend of mine. I can get like the actual company name, but it was it's essentially he was a freelancer that was assisting me.
Okay. Okay, so you have this person, Kevin, that helps managing this company, Ratings by Marketing, and then what happens after that?
Yeah, so basically, in order to generate traffic to my website, Ratings by pays advertisers to generate ads on like Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all of that. Mm-hmm. And then the people that click on the ads can then go link to Ratings by site and purchase the products with credit card data, and then the orders are sent back to like Kevin's like group so they can fulfill the orders, right, and ship them out. So the problem, what happened, everything was going like okay for 3 or 4 months. But then what happened was the affiliates that were generating the traffic, they generated bad traffic and basically started using fraudulent credit card numbers to generate orders because they get commissions off of the orders, right?
Okay.
And when they did that, then I owed the payment processors money for these transactions. And so I started receiving calls. This was like, I don't know. And that's why it would be helpful if I could get some dates. But I want to say this was like June or July last year. I started receiving calls from a payment processor saying that like I owe them money for chargebacks and stuff. So I immediately called Kevin and his team and explained. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. I immediately called Kevin, explained this, and they contacted the advertisers, the affiliates, or whatever you want to call them, and said, basically, you scammed us, we need this money. And to my knowledge, so we sent them invoices, which I can get you all of this information, invoices, everything.
Okay.
We sent them invoices, and then to my knowledge, the only time money was ever wired into the Ratings by Marketing account was to cover those invoices. And so basically, and then the money that came in to cover those invoices had to be taken out and paid to the payment processor.
And
so the money didn't.
Where did that money come from?
the money came from the advertisers after they were contacted for generating the bad traffic. And I can get you all the names of all these, these details.
Okay.
The account holder portrayed herself as a hands-off employee in an online company called Ratings by Marketing, where advertisers supposedly generated sales and wired money in to cover losses when chargebacks occurred. But in practice, the account showed little evidence of legitimate revenue and repeated patterns of large transfers followed by rapid withdrawals. Despite claiming minimal involvement, she remained the only confirmed link to the receiving account and the person seen accessing the funds in person. With vague business partners, missing documentation, and no clear record of real customer activity, investigators began to question whether the company existed to sell products at all, or whether it was being used as a front to give stolen money the appearance of legitimacy.
What were you directed to do when you went to the bank to take the money out? What was, because I mean, the money, you're saying the money came in from a payment or advertisement company, and that money was, what was the reason for the money being sent to you? If you owed them money, why were you receiving money?
So I owed the payment processor money, but the money that came in, my understanding was it came from the advertiser. So I'm basically the middle person between the advertiser company and the payment processor. So the money came from the advertiser and then to me, and then I had to give to the payment processor because there were chargebacks and all these fees owed.
Okay. So who got you linked up with these people? Who got you linked up with whatever this company is that's supposed to do the traffic and the advertising and all this kind of stuff? Is this guy Kevin? Is this somebody you know?
Yeah. No, it's someone I know, and I've had other friends do like similar work with them, and it's literally just to like make side money, and no one's ever had a problem. It's like whoever this advertiser was, like specifically screwed me, and then two of their other clients. I don't know the details of like the other situation. I just know for me that it's turned into a whole nightmare with like this payment processor and everything. And so like,
because at the end of the day, there's still $45,000 that was stolen, and you received it. So you received that money, and so I need to backtrack from you where it was coming from, and because this woman is still out the money, like the bank is not giving her money back, and so she's, it was like her like life savings. Absolutely. So what is a good email address?
After the call, detectives were left with a story that sounded organized on the surface, but didn't give them what they needed. And with no other reliable lead, detectives scheduled a face-to-face interview 6 months later, on September 20th, 2024, to test her story against the details she couldn't explain over the phone, and to find out whether she was a pawn or a stepping stone to the people who actually moved the money.
What do we know? Yeah, well, maybe what we can do is, Gabrielle can start with first describing, what's the best place to start? Maybe describing your involvement first, and then kind of the operation, like how you got involved.
Yeah.
You want to start there? Tell her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, I think you have his name, but Rob, those are some text messages.
Okay.
And I can explain those, but, in summer 2022, I was, visiting a girlfriend of mine in Florida, and I met Rob. He knew her as some of her roommates.
And Rob is Rob Velasquez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the time when I was visiting my friend, I was in the middle of a lawsuit against my ex-fiance. I had to sue him to get my name removed from our house when we broke up.
Okay.
And it was, he's very well connected, cost me a lot of money, and I was in the process of moving from Michigan to Florida to kind of like start over.
Okay.
What year was that?
That was like August 2022. And so obviously this is one of my best friends, I'm talking with her about it, and Rob was there, and
Just coincidentally.
coincidentally, like, mentioned to me, oh, well, I work with a brand house to run an affiliate e-commerce business, because my problem, what I was saying to my girlfriend, is like I work like 60 hours a week for Peacock, it's NBC Universal, and I just, at the time, I did not have time to like go to do another job, and so my problem was like I need more money, but I don't have the time to, you know, manage something or whatever. And so Rob had mentioned this e-commerce thing, and he's like, it's really hands off. We help you set up an LLC. To explain it, the brand house he works with is like, do you know what white labeling is?
I don't.
So that's like it's a big thing with
Like
like
a resale kind of a thing? Or?
sort of, yeah. It's like, there's a lot of different kinds of it, but basically like a company will make products, and then the white label piece is like you can put your own like packaging on them. Like,
Okay.
so it's like, this was for like supplements. So basically, yeah, like your own, you know, unique packaging. And so the brand house worked with Rob to come up with the packaging, to they had the product like built in their facilities, they set up the website, they managed advertising, orders, customer care. Like I had no involvement in it, other than you know, obviously I set up the LLC, and how the like business model works is the website is, you know, for my LLC. The brand house works with, and in my situation, one advertiser to drive traffic to the website.
Okay.
And so that could be like TikTok, Facebook, whatever. So if like you go to, you click on the link, go to the site, buy a product, the advertiser will get commission from your order.
Right.
And then the balance of, once the commission is taken out, goes to the brand house. The brand house and Rob got, you know, probably 80 or 90% of the balance of the commission, and I got like 500 to like $800. Like
A month.
a month, yes, because frankly I really wasn't doing like any of the work. They managed all of it and just kind of.
So it's literally just your LLC that they're using?
Yes.
Okay.
And I did know a couple of other people who had worked with Rob. Like I had checked, and like I wasn't like under the impression, like it seemed like the way it was explained to me, and like I filed a LLC in Michigan, like it was all like above.
And that's because families in Michigan, you're from Michigan?
I'm from Michigan originally,
yeah,
yes.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I agreed to do it, to be part of the program. We set it up, and I think I'll have to like double check the dates, but it was like January 2023 is kind of when it got like hit
time frame? Okay.
Yeah.
And also, just to be clear, so her job, she has a very good paying job. She gets paid between like $150,000 and $200,000 a year. So when she was going through these lawsuits, these civil suits, where attorneys can be a drain on your bank account, she was approached by this guy Rob, who I think groomed her to some extent, and said, "Oh, hey, you need to supplement your income with this you don't really got to do anything. You can just set up this LLC." And so anyway, just wanted to set the stage.
Yep.
So continue.
Okay.
Everything gets set up. At the time, I had gotten down to Florida, and ironically, he ended up also like relocating to Florida he's from Michigan too originally. It was all Michigan people that I was seeing when I was in Florida.
Okay.
And
the LLC is the Ratings by Marketing LLC. That's the one that's set up in Michigan.
Yes.
Before you come down to Florida.
Yes.
Okay.
And like, I mean, I didn't name that. I didn't like. That was literally everything about that was them.
Okay.
So everything is, going fine. I got a couple of, I was able to get, commission for a few months, and I was paying thousands to my attorney for my ex-mate. My loss was super complicated, so I had to get a bunch of depositions, and it just kept dragging out.
Okay.
So this was helping, and I lived by myself. I have 3 little dogs. Anything like that was just helping me survive.
Sure.
And then I want to say, this is all during 2023, just so you know.
Mhm.
I want to say in April or May, Rob reached out to me and said that there were some chargebacks on the account. And I know I didn't know what the term was for it, but so basically there were some orders placed on the account. Whoever owned the credit card reported it for fraud.
Mhm.
And when that happens, and this had to all be explained to me because I work in privacy, so I don't. When that happens, the credit card companies and the payment processors, they will go after, or they go to the merchant and basically say, you owe this amount in chargeback fees. And there's all sorts of different fees they stack on as punishment or whatever for that happening.
Accepting fraudulent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it took time for this to kind of unfold, but what eventually ended up happening was Rob and the brand house realized that the advertiser had obtained, because they were the only party ever contracted to send traffic to the site. So they're the only ones getting commission from this. And so, and by the way, I did ask Rob and the brand house the contract that was signed, and they tried to say that I signed it and that it was in DocuSign, but I work with DocuSign every day for my job.
Mhm.
So I knew they were I didn't see anything in DocuSign under my email.
Okay.
And they even at one point,
DocuSign saying that you signed something agreeing to work with this company?
yeah, the advertiser.
When it sounds like they were already working with the company
Right.
anyways.
Yeah, and they had even asked, after all of this started happening, well, do you want to just sign one and we can backdate it? And I'm like, no. And I immediately called him, and they also let us know that apparently this advertiser was being used for another account, so similar to me, like a second person, and they had chargebacks. I don't know if it got anywhere as out of control as this situation did,
Mhm.
but so where was I?
So the
Sorry, there's
chargebacks-
a lot of layers,
No, that's
so I'm
okay.
trying
The
to.
chargebacks come in.
Yeah.
Do they give you any documentation at all saying this is a dollar amount you owe? How does he kind of give you
So there
tell
were.
you how much that is?
So there were some bank statements. So originally, the LLC was opened under a Chase bank account,
Mhm.
and when the chargebacks started coming through, one of the 2 payment processors that Rob and team were working with started withdrawing funds from, invoicing my Chase.
So as part of what this agreement is with Rob, is to set the LLC up, but you're also in conjunction with the LLC opening up a business bank account. that
That's
goes
under,
along with it.
yeah, correct,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
And for that, he gave me
And
directions on all of that.
Were you managing that bank account?
No.
They were managing the bank
They
account?
yeah, I didn't even have.
So were the credit card payments coming in from the marketing company or this traffic directing, were the payments that were getting processed coming into your bank account?
I'm not sure.
Sounds weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And-
not that, I'm not
yeah,
saying
no,
I'm
yeah.
telling the truth, I'm just saying,
And trust me, this took me literally having to draw it out to.
Yeah.
Me.
draw like a
And
circle.
there's text
like a
messages
map.
here that she'll get to about her being directed by this Rob to go, this is what you need to do with the bank.
Sure.
And she's like, all right.
So initially with the LLC, you opened up a Chase account.
Correct.
The chargebacks come in.
Yeah, so what happened was They started invoicing the account, put the Chase account in the negative. The account was in negative for, I don't know, a few weeks, so Chase closed the account. So then, there were still chargebacks though from this GOTSA, all the names that he has, but this advertiser. And so Rob had me open up the Bank of America account.
Okay.
And then what happened was, I think that's somewhere in those texts, but he texted me one day and said, hey, the brand house sent an invoice to the advertiser for $45,000.
Yeah, this is right here, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
For $45,000, it has the account, wire info, everything on it. That was like, it says on there, like September 27th. The money is, $45,000 is wired into the account on, I think it's the 28th, and Rob knows that and tells me, and then asked, can you go withdraw this money because it needs to go to the payment processor for the chargebacks? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, because I didn't want, anything else to get, out of control. So I went to the bank, took the funds out, and at this time I was back in Michigan, so I had a wedding. So I was back in Michigan and Rob was in Michigan. So I went to the bank, the Bank of America, took the money out. I think it was it's the Royal Oak branch. Took the money out, and then Rob met up with me. I gave him the cash and the check, and then I didn't receive my commission payment for August and September because of all this stuff going on with the negative account. And so in the text, I kept $1,000 as the repayment of my owed commission.
Maybe we can do you want to take a minute or two just to read that?
Oh, yeah.
I'll
For
go,
context, or-
yeah, because I already know that there was cash and cashier's check as well.
Yes.
Split, and it was 35 and 10, so I already know that, so.
Yeah.
This is just
Yeah,
Rob
I'll-
telling her.
I'll read through everything
Okay.
afterwards, I just wanted, because I
Sure.
know you gotta get
Got
it
it.
too, so.
Yeah. The cashier's check was made out to, I think it's like Ad Marketing LLC, and so that was the,
And that's in here too.
yeah, the ISO, Independent Sales Office. And so what, I believe so the balance of that, went to Rob and the brand house, I think he says in there, because they covered some of the funds to pay the payment processor. So that all happens. Around that time, so this is basically like October 1st. Around that time, I had this is unrelated, but I figured out how to make an Etsy account and do print on demand stuff. So I just make designs, and it's all managed for the production and all that's managed for me, but I'm in control of the business aspect and all the finances.
Yeah.
So I start doing that, and it's actually doing pretty well right now. But because of that, and because I relocated from Miami to Fort Lauderdale October 10th, I texted Rob and was just I don't want to do this anymore. It's just not, honestly, I do make a lot of money, and this is just not worth it. I the drama and the headache, and I'm just I don't know fully what's going on. And he said, okay, no problem. Other than that, the only other thing that happened was I spoke to an accountant in March or April of this year to do my taxes, business. He was a business tax guy. Did that. And then, actually, that was kind of going on when you first contacted me, the taxes stuff. So,
Okay.
I forget I think you contacted me end of March.
It sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then when you contacted me, and I'll be honest with you, I think I've had 2 speeding tickets in my entire life. I don't know how any of this stuff works, and I was joking with Doug that I watch Law and Order, and that's probably the extent of what I know.
Well, I know you don't have any criminal history.
Yeah. So what was concerning to me is, like, I knew what you were talking about because I had to go to the bank to get the funds, but obviously this is like a very, very complicated situation. And when I first was even speaking with you, I didn't even know all of this background info. Like, I had to be explained to myself and Doug.
And in the brief conversation that you and I had, I didn't completely, I mean, I don't think I even now completely understand.
It's, yeah, I mean, this whole, like, business model is strange. And it's actually at my day job, it's becoming like kind of an issue with like privacy laws and stuff, because like things with AI, so it's all like new territory. And so like I like appreciate that it's very confusing, and I truly do not believe I did anything wrong, but I didn't want to like give the wrong impression or.
And just to be clear, she wanted to talk to you immediately. She talked to me then, and I said, don't do that because you could inadvertently incriminate yourself. I mean, let me get everything first when there's a court case. I reviewed everything, crunched the data, tried to make sense of all the players here, and there's a lot of them. But after reviewing everything, I'm not concerned about her incriminating her because she only knows so much. I think she was groomed to some extent and sort of used, and these other guys. I don't know Rob or Kevin's culpability, but
so there's Rob. Do we have a phone number for Rob?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a picture of it somewhere.
This just has the name.
Yeah, this is just the
like the actual phone number.
I have. Don't you have his number?
I have his number in my phone, but I took a picture of his contact card.
Okay.
Is it in here?
Are these copies for me here too?
Yeah, those are your copies.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll definitely go through them and look and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So, and then you said Kevin? Is there somebody else named Kevin?
Yeah, so the fun thing about the...
Kevin's mysterious.
So,
Rob,
yeah.
Okay.
I've spoken to Kevin twice. I don't have a last name for Kevin. And the 2 times I spoke to him were after you contacted me, and one of the times he was on the phone with Doug trying to explain how this whole thing works, and he, I guess, works for the brand house.
So Kevin, you spoke to Kevin as well? Okay.
Well, I can't make myself a witness, obviously, to something.
No, I'm just it wasn't just.
But yeah, it wasn't just her. I was on the phone because I was trying to make sense of all this.
Okay.
We were kind of learning like about it
Yeah.
together, but so initially when you first contacted me, like, and in those texts you'll see Rob is literally saying like you had nothing to do with this, you had literally no say in how anything is run, like, so they're helping me, they're giving me information, and then, you know, as I continued to kind of press on them, like for example with that like backdating contract thing, like I work with legal at NBC every day, I'm not going to do that, like
Right.
this isn't you guys, this is like on me. And like, for example, I found out there's like 5 little local articles in local newspapers, and actually this past Monday somebody leaked them to like my hometown, and like they're spreading everywhere, and like
Well, they have wrong information.
he's
about what?
How I had to turn myself in. And what I didn't know, because what Doug explained to me is like in Connecticut you can only deal with a warrant if you physically go there, and so like none of that detail was in there. So my thing to Rob was like, I look like an asshole, and I got $3,000 or $4,000 during the life of this entire relationship, and they one of the payment processors tried to go after my credit, so I got like screwed basically, and so I just kept pushing Rob. I was like, I need more information, like this is just ridiculous. And then finally, like we had one more call with Rob. Kevin was supposed to join but had an emergency, so he couldn't join, and basically we were just asking for like the brand house contact information, the advertiser contact information, like that. And
well, I was asking more like the brand, like what's this brand house? Because it kept being what is, like, is that a company? Is that a person?
Right.
And Kevin, no last name was ever provided, and he just didn't show up to that call to me, my, spidey senses were going up, but, who knows? But, so Kevin and Rob were the players that she's aware of, and Rob was the one pushing her to do all this via text message, and also being like, now you need to walk into the bank and do a check for this, and do that. You'll see that.
Yep.
With there's, I'm trying to think of how I can break this down for you. So there was a lot of different players here. You have,
As you can see, it's very.
well, initially they were saying this GOTSA, which is
That's who they're saying that.
and that's from where? That's a foreign?
Yeah, so this advertiser, they claimed that Kevin and his team met them at some conference in Vegas. I'm not sure what kind, but I actually think it was one of the main e-commerce conferences in Vegas, and for those, they'll have people from like all over the industry like show up. They claim that was where they met this advertiser. Myself and then one or two of their other accounts were used with them, used them as the advertiser, and I wasn't involved in any of these conversations. This is what Rob told me. But yeah, allegedly it's GOTSA something. It sounds like it's like a foreign entity based out of Taiwan or something. But oh, actually, and sorry, I forgot to like kind of circle back to this. So what Rob and Kevin figured out was that GOTSA, the advertiser, to increase their commission, they stole credit card numbers to get bigger orders, and then therefore they got a bigger chunk of commission cash or whatever.
Okay.
And so
the chargebacks get it distributed amongst the people that.
like if we all had our credit cards stolen, we would all file, and then like our respective bank or our respective credit card companies then would go to the payment processor and say, what the hell, and then the payment processor is who goes to the.
They get the commission,
merchant.
and when the chargeback would come to.
They get the commission regardless.
They get the commission, but then when the chargeback comes through, it goes to the person was the accepting.
So if
it was ratings by marketing, and they jack up the purchase with a stolen credit card number, they get their commission.
Yep.
Then when it gets charged back to the payment processing company, they're looking to you to
recoup.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have to go. Yeah, cover.
What is it? GOTSA? Like a goat?
It's like GOTs.
GOTZA.
Oh, like that. Okay. GOTSA.
PTE LTD.
PTE.
Just come.
Okay. All right.
And there's an email from, so they figured that out. When they figured that out, there's an email from RK Services, and this was sent to me after I spoke with you, like this was some of the documentation they provided me, with an invoice for $45,000 to this GOTSA company, like I said, with all the wire information. The money was wired into the account, and then the 29th or whatever, I went to go
do the withdrawal.
Do the withdrawal, and
Okay.
so I guess I actually did kind of finish the story. But
Yeah.
that's like the
So,
context.
okay, so I have text messages here. Is there anything else you have, copies of anything else to give me? You can email me if you don't have printouts. Is there anything else in documentation that you have?
Yeah, I mean,
the
I have.
invoice if you have, or?
That's what I was trying to. Anything written as
Right.
far as the contract
the
that
invoice-
outlines everybody's.
So there's the
The invoice
right?
is attached to the email that I have it. I can.
So
I might have them.
You might have it in your stack. Yeah.
Just trying to see if any of these emails would be helpful.
And I mean, so just to be clear, I think everything in this stack is direct text messages between me and Rob, and then anything in here, that's me and Rob. That's like that's an
group text?
yeah. It's
You, Rob, and is that Kevin as well, or?
No, Kevin wasn't in there. But it's in Telegram.
Okay.
And there are more messages, but like I just was kind of like
Yeah, I'll look through this. I mean, if there's something else I need to ask you or whatever, I'll call him, or I can call you, whatever you guys decide. Do you have a phone number for Kevin?
no. And we asked for it.
Yeah.
And was he only just calling you guys when you?
He jumped on a conference call once, and then I was
So-
pressing Rob for contact information, and he just said that would not be available.
And when we did the conference call, like I called Rob, then Rob like called three-wayed him in, or four-wayed.
Who else do you know that knows Rob? Do you know does anybody that you know actually know him, or is it just peripherally like?
So like my friend whose house I was at when
Yeah, does she know him? Like
she knows him, but I mean she knows about this whole situation obviously, and was like.
But like not like I know this.
They're
guy.
not like best friends or.
And do you know where he's from in Michigan? What part of Michigan?
I would.
313, so Detroit area, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, I
Like you don't know anyone in Michigan
that
directly, because essentially the only way I'm going to be able, if you don't have a date of birth for him, you don't have any addresses.
Oh, I could look up the date of birth.
Do you have? How do you have that? Is it on something?
Maybe Facebook.
I think that would be helpful.
Is he on Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page for him?
In
order for me to even look, yeah, you can look. In order for me to even,
I don't know for Facebook.
because if you guys leave, I have access to looking up phone numbers and stuff. But if his number is like a burner phone number that he was using for a while and then he got rid of it, it may not.
I know he has an Instagram. If that helps.
Yeah, I'll take anything where I try to identify who he is.
Yeah.
That's me trying to figure out what's going on, which I think kind of breaks down how complex this is.
So that's his Instagram.
And he has the S, like you have the S, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was. It's for IG.
I can see on Facebook if we're friends.
Yeah, if he's got a birthday on there.
And I haven't met her personally, but I do know he has a girlfriend that lives with him. And I can find her.
I know the police report indicates that Ms. Gardner, Erica Gardner, was contacted by a male, spoke to on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is, but
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure you know just as well as I do with financial crimes that there's layers.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So, and obviously this all is layers of stuff, right? So, but at the end, a lot of times where we get is I have a victim who's out $45,000.
Oh, yeah.
She's not getting that money back.
Right.
And then whoever initiated it maybe isn't the person at the end who's taking money out. So having a person going into the bank, taking out cash and a cashier's check, there's people that get a kickback for opening up a bank account.
Right.
So they're just as culpable as receiving the money than it is the person who made the initial phone call.
Right.
So as much as I know this has jammed you up, this situation, my victim as well, her entire bank account was drained.
Yeah.
And she was pushing for an investigation as well. So, but if there's you at the end and then there's a guy here and then there's a guy that made the phone call, everybody's equally, in my mind, is culpable because the money got stolen and then it went from here to here, so.
And that's why she's here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Police report is not, it's either that or, it'd be going to trial, and just let a jury decide. I do think that this operation handpicks pawns and just throws them under the bus, and that can be because they send her into a bank, it's video recorded. Obviously, it's not very sneaky,
Mm-hmm.
And the bank account it's in my name.
Yeah, but and I will say, just to play,
the
obviously the devil's advocate, and not that I'm saying that I don't believe you, but that there's people that have been completely willing, knowing that they're involved in fraud or scams, and still do the same thing. Put their name on a bank account and walk in there on video with their face.
Sure.
So
I get it.
You know what I mean? So
did
not
you
to
find
say
the invoicing?
No, but I don't have them.
Yeah. So
I'll send them.
Can I have this email print out?
Yeah.
That's for me. So I'm gonna hold on to these.
I'll read for it.
If there's anything else you want to send me, I'll just do a little bit of digging on my end, and then I'll kind of get back in touch with you. If I have any questions, do you want me to reach out to you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The thing.
We'll get you the invoice.
Yeah, if you have the invoice, like I said, anything you have in writing is obviously helpful for me.
Yep. Let's see if this would be helpful for you.
And And,
I would defend someone in here, I'm just making sure there's nothing.
and I was telling about, I have nothing to hide. A lot of this, I just, like, I wasn't involved in the day-to-day app.
Right.
So, like,
Right.
the business model, this is like my understanding of it based on how it was
No,
explained to me.
I understand, I mean,
And if I can, I mean, if you look through those messages, we'll get you whatever else is missing from what I sent him. But like, I'm happy to fully cooperate.
Mhm.
Like, and you know, that's unfortunate that happened to that woman. Like,
As in, I talked to the prosecutor that, you know,
yeah,
it's a little early for a proffer agreement, but, I mean, as far as like, testifying against whoever she's gonna do it, if needed.
yeah, if needed.
who was gonna testify?
She'll
That I
testify
would
against whoever.
expect.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
if
I
there's
thought you
more
were talking
people.
about the victim, okay.
But yeah, but long story short, like this Goatsa company, basically, I don't know Rob and Kevin if they were part of it, but
Mhm.
this advertiser, to me, it sounded like they robbed Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And they, the whole Paul thing was stolen credit card numbers. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not, obviously, they're not like good people if they,
Well,
if there's charge
and I
backs to begin with.
investigate tons of financial crimes, and
Yeah.
a lot of them are very, very sophisticated, so, and there's a lot of moving parts, you know, so that,
I think this will help you. 10%
Absolutely.
summary.
Sure.
It brings everything together.
Okay.
And the players.
can I keep this?
Yeah, you can read it, there's nothing there.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh wait, no, this is,
Oh, what, do I get 'em?
this is the email. I don't know if the attachment is there, but this is what was sent to, I'm told that was Goatsa, and attached to this was the invoice. We can get you the invoice.
Yeah, yeah, if you can send that over. And then besides that invoice, there was nothing ever signed by you, between you and Rob, or you and Kevin, or the Goatsa, or any of that?
That's what I wanted to
Was there
find.
any?
100% not, no with Goatsa,
Mhm.
or the brand house. I can't fully remember if, like, when I agreed to do the program with Rob, if he had me sign something
Did
like
you-
informal between.
Did you
him and
do
I.
anything with him in person, or was everything
It was
done
all over
Telegram?
Telegram, or like the when they asked me if I would backdate the contract, like they called me.
Okay.
I didn't. I
But
haven't.
there was
I haven't
no-
seen Rob in person.
There was
in
no
like 2
wet
years.
signature in person, he came to you with paperwork and asked you to sign something
I
that you remember?
not that I remember. No.
Have you gone through all your emails, everything, to see if there was ever some,
I can.
just do a double check to see if
Yeah.
there's anything with their name on it, with anything,
Oh, I see what
you
you're
know what I'm
saying.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where they said you have to sign this, or maybe you forgot it was included in something else, I don't know, like just
Yeah.
any documentation that could have been, if you didn't sit in person with them and sign something, and there is something that you did sign, then it may be in an email exchange, or on the Telegram chat, or
Yeah, let
text,
me.
or something like that.
Yeah, let me look through. Should I just email it to you?
And
Yeah.
once you went and got the LLC registered,
Mhm.
were you then required to send over to him paperwork or anything? Did you get a tax ID number?
Yeah.
You did all that, so how did you get that to him? Did he
That
ask
was
you to send that to him?
That was. I'm almost positive in Telegram.
Okay.
I can look.
Yeah,
I
so
have all the messages.
Yeah, look through that Telegram, if there's a way that you can dump the entire Telegram message and make sure it doesn't, because I don't know if those messages get deleted after a period of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
If you can find a way to go into the app and dump that message, so you have the entirety of the whole message, that might be helpful as well.
Okay.
But anything, like I said, documentation that you can send me over, I'm willing to take a look at everything,
Okay.
you know. But anything, like I said, wherever you sent him, here's my tax ID number, here's a copy of the form from the IRS, here's a copy of the LLC paperwork.
Yeah, I have
all that stuff,
I have copies
you know.
of all of that because I needed
Yeah.
some of that for my taxes
Okay.
too.
Yeah, so,
Which he had to give me because I didn't have like
Yeah.
the finances or whatever. So yeah, I can give me like a couple of days.
yes, no, that's fine. My
Um,
caseload's been over the top, so it took me a little time to review
I
everything
can
too.
relate to that.
Yeah. So, all right. And if anything else comes up, you think of anything, you can relay to him, to me.
Yep.
You can shoot me an email. You can call me.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right.
I don't think I left anything out, but if I,
You think of something? Yeah.
Yeah, well-
You shoot me an email, I check my emails when I'm at home, I shouldn't, but I did.
likewise.
Who did you talk to at the state's attorney's office?
Well, you know how court is. Go to grab the file that morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was quick, I mean, we were waiting further discovery.